how do you make the draft even sweeter? Well, Blockbuster trades, of course.
Try to trade up for Cam Ward, and it starts with the New York Giants at number 3.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have to give a boatload away because they're at the number 3 spot right now.
With this year's big event in Green Bay inching closer and closer, how about we dive into 10 blockbuster trades that could drastically shake up the 2025 NFL Draft? Giants trade up for top pick, select Cam Ward. If there is one quarterback-needy team that could realistically meet the Tennessee Titans' asking price for the number 1 pick, it's going to be the New York Giants. Brian Daboll's group currently holds the number 3 pick in the draft, so they wouldn't have to surrender a king's ransom to jump into the top spot. And with that, allow us to propose the following scenario. To Giants, the number 1 pick. To Titans, number 3 and number 32 picks and a 2026 third-round pick. With the number 1 selection, the Giants roll the dice on Miami quarterback Cam Ward and secure their quarterback of the future. The Titans are happy to pass on Ward and wait until the deeper 2026 QB draft class. I mean, Arch Manning, anyone? New York signed Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson just days apart, yes, but both are merely short-term options and not long-term solutions in New York. There is no issue in taking Ward now, having him learn behind 2 veteran Pro Bowlers, especially a renowned leader like Wilson, before taking over the reins himself. For the Titans, well, they get an extra draft pick and still guarantee themselves one of Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Both are elite, can't-miss talents. Passing on Ward to get one of those guys and 2 extra draft picks is certainly worth it. The Saints make a deal with Raiders, grab Shedeur Sanders. Deion Sanders' son is easily the most polarizing prospect of this year's draft class. Some scouts and analysts have Shedeur Sanders as the top QB ahead of Cam Ward. Others think that he's just going to be a mid-first-round pick, and others don't even think he's worthy of being a day 1 selection. Well, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So with that, we propose the following trade. The New Orleans Saints acquire the number 6 pick from the Las Vegas Raiders in exchange for the number 9 and number 93 selections, plus a 2026 4th-rounder. With the number 6 pick, the Saints secure their quarterback of the future in Shedeur Sanders. There's the new young hotshot QB to pair with, well, the new hotshot head coach in Kellen Moore. With Derek Carr's 2025 season in jeopardy because of a nagging shoulder injury, the urgency for New Orleans to draft a QB certainly increases. But even if the veteran gets clearance to play, let Shedeur sit behind Carr for 1 year before taking over the offense in 2026. The Saints can cut or trade Carr in his contract year and let Shedeur inherit an offense with Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, and Talisa Fuaga. Patriots make win-now trade with Browns for Travis Hunter. Well, the New England Patriots sure aren't playing around in year 1 under new head coach Mike Vrabel. Their work this offseason shows that the Pats aren't rebuilding anymore. They want to win now. I mean, they didn't sign star wide receiver Stephon Diggs, veteran center Garrett Bradbury, offensive tackle Morgan Moses, Super Bowl winning defensive tackle Milton Williams, edge rusher Harold Landry, linebacker Robert Spillane, and shutdown corner Carlton Davis to be an AFC bottom feeder again. The Pats still need more receiving help though, with Diggs being an injury risk at age 31 and coming off a torn ACL. They could also use one more stud defensive back to help the Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis-led secondary. Well, Colorado two-way phenom Travis Hunter can be the solution at both ends. Thus brings us to the next proposal. The Patriots acquire the number 2 pick from the Cleveland Browns in exchange for the number 4, number 69, and number 144 selections and wide receiver Demario Douglas. So now the Pats have Hunter secured as their next superstar wide receiver. Now Drake May and company are locked and loaded for years to come, and Hunter can be used as a corner if Vrabel wants to go that route. Meanwhile, the Browns get extra draft picks to fill out their many roster flaws. With the Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Deshaun Watson QB room, they can tank their way to a top QB prospect next year. And with the number 4 pick, they'd still get a valuable day 1 starter. Packers move up for a new WR1. The Green Bay Packers haven't used a first-round pick on a wide receiver since 2002. You know, when they took Florida State's Javon Walker. That bold strategy worked when they were finding gems in the later rounds like Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, and Jordy Nelson. But Packers GM Brian Gutekunst keeps avoiding the need for big-time receivers in round 1. Well, that streak finally breaks this year. For our next proposal, the Packers acquire the number 18 pick from the Seattle Seahawks in exchange for the number 23 pick wide receiver Romeo Doubs and a 2026 4th-round pick. Then, the Packers select Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden, finally, at long last, getting their new WR1 for Jordan Love. Seattle gets another promising young wideout in Doubs to complement Jackson Smith-Njigba and Cooper Kupp. And they're happy to move down at number 23, where plenty of day one starters remain available. Colts roll the dice on Kirk Cousins. The Falcons can toot Cousins' horn all they want, but there is no logical reason to keep him on as Michael Penix Jr.'s backup, not with $100 million guaranteed on his contract. The Indianapolis Colts have been in QB purgatory since Andrew Luck's stunning 2019 retirement, so allow us to propose a potential solution here involving Captain Kirk Cousins to the Colts in exchange for the number 117 pick and a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick. Cousins gets a fresh start, and Atlanta clears the money. Win-win. Colts QB Blockbuster Part 2. Rams take a flyer on Anthony Richardson. So, if the Colts were to take a chance on Cousins, it'd have to spell the end of Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. The Colts don't need all three of A-Rich, Cousins, and Daniel Jones on their roster. Richardson needs to learn from one of the league's best offensive-minded coaches on a team that actually shows full confidence in him. With Matthew Stafford on a year-to-year basis, the Los Angeles Rams would be wise to figure out a succession plan. A fair trade for all parties here, the Rams' 2026 second-round pick and the number 127 selection this year for Anthony Richardson. It's adequate value for Indy, considering Richardson's lackluster production up to this point. And even if Cousins didn't pan out, well, we dare say the Colts would be bad enough to tank and get a top quarterback in 2026. Steelers send TJ Watt to the Cardinals. The 2021 Defensive Player of the Year sent social media into a frenzy when he posted this on his Instagram story. Worth noting that Watt is entering the final year of his contract. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game in his career, and so I think you could understand if the 31-year-old is looking to chase a ring elsewhere, especially if Pittsburgh isn't willing to meet his contract demands. Cardinals GM Monty Ossenfort needs to be aggressive if Arizona has to close the gap with three superior division rivals in the NFC West. And with Arizona especially needing a stud pass rusher, Pittsburgh feels like the ideal trade partner. So how about this? Watt and the number 21 pick will be traded to the Cardinals in exchange for the number 16 selection and Arizona's 2026 second-round pick. Basically, Arizona is giving up a second-rounder and only moving down 5 spots to get one of the league's top 3 pass rushers. They can still get a stud with that number 21 pick, but Pittsburgh is certainly happy to move up 5 spots and get a future second-rounder for a player who might not want to finish his career here anyways. Brandon Iayuk joins forces with Lamar Jackson. The San Francisco 49ers have lost an insane amount of notable talent this offseason. Not even a year after handing superstar wideout Brandon Iayuk a 4-year extension worth $120 million, it already feels like San Fran has buyer's remorse. His name has popped up aplenty in trade rumors this offseason, and the lack of moves by GM John Lynch suggests the 49ers don't think that they can win a Super Bowl with this core. May as well get out of Iayuk's contract before it kicks in and clear the much-needed cap space. And no Super Bowl contender needs a real WR1 more than the Baltimore Ravens, which makes this proposal very simple. Iayuk to the Ravens for the number 27 selection. Easy peasy. The Ravens now have Iayuk, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, and Zay Flowers to bolster its Super Bowl chances around Lamar Jackson. San Fran gets an extra first-round pick that can be used on another receiver anyway. Titans trade back into round 1 for Jackson Dart. You know what we said on the Cam Ward entry and how the Titans could wait until 2026 to draft a QB? Well, hey, what if they didn't want to wait that long? With the Rams getting Anthony Richardson in this hypothetical exercise, they could be open to trading down with a team that wants a QB, leading to this win-win proposal. A number 26 pick to the Titans in exchange for the number 35 selection and the Titans' 2026 second-round selection. With the number 26 pick, Tennessee snags Dart and addresses its major roster need. So they get Carter or Hunter with the number 3 pick via the Giants and still come away with one of the big 3 QB prospects. Tyreek Hill, you're a Dallas Cowboy. Hill has gone back and forth about wanting to leave the Miami Dolphins. He notably stated, "I'm out, bro," after their season ended in January. Then he said he wanted to stay. Then he posted cryptic messages hinting at a desire to leave. Then he shut down rumors about wanting to be traded. Yeesh. Hill's latest legal dispute, this time involving his wife, mother-in-law, and young daughter, should be the final straw for Miami. Hill is just becoming a giant headache reminiscent of Antonio Brown at the Steelers in 2018. So, join us in getting crazy on this scenario. Tyreek Hill and the number 13 pick to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for the number 12 selection and number 44 selections, or essentially Hill for Dallas's 2025 second-round pick. Jerry Jones finally makes his win-now move and pairs the future Hall of Famer with CeeDee Lamb. And now Dak Prescott is in line to have the best statistical season of his career, with Dallas ready to regain its status as an offensive juggernaut. Trading Hill clears the cap space and locker room issues for Miami. They move up one spot in the draft and secure an extra second-rounder. And with the number 12 pick, GM Chris Greer is well-equipped to find Jaden Waddle's new running mate. There are plenty of options here. But hey, which other blockbuster trades would you like to see at the 2025 NFL Draft? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking that like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then hey, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.